If Disney's animation studios made a game, it will be called Kenna Bridge of Spirits. If Pixar made a game as well, it will also be called Kenna Bridge of Spirits. Hello, I'm Ohoho, and this is my 2022 review of the beautiful game called Kenna Bridge of Spirits, and whether or not it is a good idea to get Isekai'ed here. If you enjoyed this review and find it helpful, please do consider subscribing and giving it a like. It is very much appreciated. First up, let's talk about graphics. Right from the get-go, Kenna Bridge of Spirits unabashedly displays its cutesy, animated art style and embraces it completely. Anyone who has watched a Disney or Pixar animated film will likely draw many parallels to their films, and it is no wonder why. From the color palette, to the expressive animations on its characters, and to when you get more of those cute little rods joining your team, everything blends together so well. Not to mention, some of those spectacular sceneries that you come across really sets this game apart. Lush jungles, open breezy plains, eerie caves, and mysterious underground shrine avatars all have a very unique feel to them, and each time you encounter a new area, it makes you kind of wonder, stop there and just admire the scenery. It makes you think if Ember Labs actually had experience in this field, which after some digging, they actually do. The company originally started making character and narrative-driven commercials with big companies like Coca-Cola, Hisense, and MLB, before deciding to start making games. And Kenna Bridge of Spirits is their first attempt at it, and I must say, it was an excellent attempt. These people will definitely know their stuff. Each of the story cutscenes features some of the best storytelling camera angles I've ever seen, and give you, the player, a cinematic experience not much different from the films of, say, Disney and Pixar. You could randomly pick a photo during any of the cutscenes and you'll still end up looking spectacular. Print it, set it as your wallpaper on your PC or phone, and you'll make sure that your background stands out from the rest. Also, the transition from a pre-rendered CG cutscene back to the in-game ones are smooth, and Ember Labs has expertly made sure that what you see in the game fits what was shown in the cutscene almost perfectly. Another part of the visual presentation that deserves praise is the attention paid to the details of the character designs of the enemies. Every small and large enemy in the game have something unique to their visual presentation. Be it the small mobs to the larger enemies, you never really feel bored like you're facing the same enemies over and over again. Each has their own unique visuals and a combat style to match, and gives you, the player, a distinct experience and impression during every single encounter. Towering bosses give a strong impression of the power they possess, and sends appropriately terrifying chills to the player when facing them. All this terror is balanced with the cute little creatures called rods, who might just be some of the cutest characters that have ever been made. Seriously, these adorable little furry creatures are a delight to see. The animation that gives these character models their soul are also equally adorable. As you move along in the game, they follow you around the map, they appear in appropriate spots to provide immersion, and they connect the player to the environment. They yawn, lie down, look up at you with their large round eyes, and generally do cute things as you traverse the environment. You can even buy hats for them, various hats to customize their looks. As your little rod army grows, whoever came up with them and made the animations deserve some good pats on the back. All in all, for graphics and visuals, well done. It's rare to find a game with such a high level of polish. Great work all around. Now moving on to a bit about the story and the gameplay. The story revolves around a young spirit guide called Kenna as she explores the mountains and forests to find a way to reach this mountain shrine. She wants to meet her father, who was also a spirit guide, but one whom has already passed on to the great beyond. She comes across a village that has been ravaged by spiritual corruption along her way and decides to help the spirits there who have been tormented by their regrets and are unable to move on. The story is simple but effective, adequately written, and interesting enough to make you want to keep going to find out the truth behind each of the tormented spirits you encounter. And each time you discover the truth, the game rewards you with its breathtaking visuals and cinematic prowess in the form of a well-animated CGI cutscene. the quality of which is so high that it wouldn't seem out of place if it was sliced into any of the recent animated blockbusters. To keep spoilers to a minimum, I will only say that this is a story that will please a vast majority of folks out there. On to the gameplay. Kenna Bridge of Spirits utilizes a simple RPG progression system where you earn skill points by discovering barrels, chests, and locations within the game, which you can then use to unlock improved and new abilities. Our little rod friends are scattered throughout the forest and mountains, and discovering more of them gives you more rod actions, which are namely powerful attacks that deal massive damage while staggering your enemies. These powerful attacks are balanced by requiring the player to build up courage points to allow the rod to come out, as they are too scared to come out when the fight just starts out. This prevents the spamming of such attacks and ensures that the players need to be strategic about using them. Players can avoid incoming damage via dodging, or using a shield, or dashing to stagger enemies, which is unlocked appropriately late into the game as it is a powerful movement ability. Combat on the whole is very smooth, and attack animations and sounds have a good weight to them. However, the game is surprisingly difficult even at the normal Spirit Guide difficulty. Timing is crucial, especially so for dodges. The invulnerability window for a dodge is tiny, and the game punishes the player for each mistimed dodge, as dodging even a split second too early or late means that Kenna takes damage. Even when it seems like you should be in iframe, you will still get hit because you missed the window by just a few milliseconds. This can cause some of the early fights to be quite frustrating as you get to gripes with landing your dodges perfectly, and it may even seem sadistic at times as the game punishes you for your poor dodges. However, once you get used to the timing, it feels exceptionally rewarding when you dodge some of the hardest hitting attacks from bosses. Moving on to music, sound, and voice. It becomes very apparent to you within the first few moments of the game that special attention was paid to sound. From the moment you step into the first cave, you can tell that the quality of the sound in this game is exceptional. Let's start with the voice acting. Simply put, they are superb. Each of the characters in the story all have their own unique accents, tones, and emotions to them. For example, Toshi, our village leader, sounds appropriately solemn and charismatic with his Japanese samurai accent.
I know you are kind. You sense the power that flows through this land, but you do not fully understand it. Death and corruption are all that remain here.
while Benny and Saya's voice actors exude the youthful energy and inquisitive nature that children ought to have.
Is Tara this way? The barrier's blocking the path.
Maybe Zaju can help. He's usually at the masked shrine.
Taro's voice actor expertly conveys through the tone of his voice the worried emotions an older brother would have when realizing their younger siblings have gone missing.
Oh no! No! Benny! Saya! Where are you?
Zajuro at the Masked Shrine and Rusu of the High Mountains both have a certain charisma and tone to their voices that displays the wisdom that they have obtained over the
The
ages.
shrine is connected to everything in this forest. The trees here grew strong, drawing on its energy. And the land was once in perfect balance.
Something tells me you did not come to our village looking for forest creatures.
Hello, Spirit. I seek passage to the Sacred Mountain Shrine.
Our village is bound to the shrine's energy, but that power faded long ago.
And that's not all. The rest of the cast performed equally as impressive, and they certainly displayed that during each step of Kenna's journey. The music also deserves praise. From the ambient tones to the sound effects in battle, all exude a high level of fidelity to them. Each attack sounds fast and distinct from each other, and have an adequate level of punch to them. You will not mistake the sound effects of your own attacks to that of the enemies. Neither will two regions of the game sound the same. Cavernous undergrounds sound as they should, and so does wide open plains and windy mountain peaks. The battle tracks are intense and puts emphasis on the tension of combat well enough. You might want to, however, reduce the volume just a bit, as they could seem a bit loud in certain scenarios. However, it is a great job all around here. Finally, on to the most important question. Is it a good idea to get Isekai'ed here? Well, if you ask me, I'd say it's quite alright. The rods are cute, the NPCs all seem to be pretty nice people, and the world is generally just beautiful to live in, albeit with an occasional chance of random corruption. But hey, we have those powers for that, right? With that being said, NPCs are all spirits who kinda need to move on, so after you help everyone, it might just get a bit lonely for a while. With that in mind, I'd like to introduce the ratings for the Isekai ability, which starts from definitely nope to I don't know to maybe yes, and finally definitely yes. And Kenna, for me, is a solid maybe yes. Currently, Kenna Bridge of Spirits is available on the Epic Store for PC for about 35 SGD and 26 USD. And on the PlayStation, it's going for about 55 Sing dollars and 40 US dollars. At this price, I'd say that you are getting a good amount of satisfaction and enjoyment out of the game, keeping in mind the excellent visuals and cinematics and challenging but satisfying once mastered combat. And as such, I believe that this is one of those games that are good even if you were to buy at full price, but only on the PC. For the PlayStation, it is during a sale. If you want to see how normal gameplay is like, or just want to watch someone play it, you can do so at my Kenna playlist right here, links in the description. If you liked this review and found it helpful, please consider dropping a like or sub to help the channel grow so that I can bring you more of such content in the future. With that being said, this is the end of the review. Thank you for watching.